from Churchland High School, Channel 5 presents Group AAA Eastern Regional Tournament Semifinals. The Hampton Crabbers versus the Booker T. Washington Bookers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole, along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to the brand new Churchland High School for the game between the Hampton Crabbers, 19-6, and the Booker T. Washington Bookers at 22-1. And Bob, of course, Coach Walter Brower has told us he's just happy to be here, but he wants to do more than just be happy.
Well, I talked to Walter earlier in the week, and he didn't expect to get through the tournament, end up even making it to the regional, so everything's a plus. But he said 3 young men, Carlin Brown, Damon Baycoat, and Mario Gatling, have decided they don't want to quit playing yet, and they have just done a great job of pulling out victories and just really happy. You know, it's made Walter real happy to make it 6th time in 6 years into the semifinals of the Eastern Regional. Awesome.
The Hampton Crabbers are on a roll. They beat heavily favored Deep Creek to get here, while the Booker T. Washington Bookers, they haven't had to worry about anyone. They're 22-1, and they got an All-American Michael Evans.
Yeah, the man is a consensus All-American. He can do anything with the ball. He's not only a great scorer, he scores 20-some-odd points a game averages, but Tim, he penetrates and dishes off. They have a great inside game, too, so it's not a one-dimension team. Hampton has got to look out for Michael Evans. They got to stop him. They've got another young second guard that spot shoots. He'll get to a spot, and that's where he'll shoot from, and then the big man inside. So it's not a one-dimensional team. Hampton's got their work cut out for him tonight.
One of the things that does present a problem for Hampton is the reference to a big man. They do not have a singular big man such as a 6'8" or 6'9" player like Rashawn Ely for Kickingham. They just don't have the big guy, but they've got Mario Gatling, they've got Carlin Brown, who really hustle inside.
Well, both those young men are football players, but Mario Gatling is probably plays bigger than he is. He's not a very big man, 6'2", 6'3", but he plays 6'5". On the other point, you've got Carlin Brown, was a great scorer last year. Early part of the season wasn't scoring. Now he is scoring. So Hampton is not a one-dimensional team. They've got Baycoat that can score, Gatling that can score, and Carlin Brown. So they've got 3 scores.
And they've got a young team. They've got a couple of young men who will be starting tonight. Steve Pringle, who has not seen a lot of action for the Crabbers this year. He is not a big scorer, but he has got a real important role tonight.
Right. He's going to be checking Mr. Michael Evans. And when they're playing man-to-man, that's who will be on Michael Evans. They'll drop back into the zone, try to cut off the penetration of Michael. He's going to change up. Walter's not going to do the same thing. He's going to go out and try to confuse the opposition. Of course, that's what you want to do.
And Walter Brower has had great success at that. And Hampton, of course, a great tradition, 6th consecutive year in the Eastern Regionals. They'd like to extend this season. Should they win tonight, they will go to the state regardless of the outcome of Saturday night's final.
That's true. Whoever wins tonight in this game, automatic berth to the state. Well, that's what you work for. That's your goal at the beginning of each year.
All right, we're going to have your starting lineups for you in just a moment. We're going to let you right now take kind of a panoramic view around this beautiful brand new facility here at Churchland High School.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Virginia High School League and Eastern Region.
We are going to have the introduction of the starting lineups momentarily. And there you see head coach Mike Smith from Hampton High School. Of course, the football coach.
Mike Smith reached down and touched it. Did you see that?
And another former coach, I should say, Glenn Russell, just to the right of your screen going out of the picture now. Of course, Glenn Russell, a very successful basketball coach. And there's Lowell Thomas, the principal over at Hampton High School. So all of the Hampton supporters are here tonight. And right now we invite you to join us for the playing of our national anthem. continuing to file in here at, as I said before, the brand new facility at Churchland High School seats about 4,300 people. And before the night is over with another semifinal game to follow this, and we will have it for you on Channel 5, the game between Kecoughtan and Morey. But right now, the Hampton Crabbers are being introduced.
That's Carlin Brown, Tim.
At forward, a 6'3" junior for the Hampton Crabbers, number 30, Damon Bako.
Damon Bako being introduced.
At forward, a 6'6" senior for the Booker T. Washington Bookers, number 20, Stuart Howard. At forward, a 6'3" senior for the Hampton Crabbers.
Stuart Howard for Booker T. Mario Gatling being introduced for the Hampton Crabbers. That is Mario coming up.
For the BT Washington Bookers, number 34, Jeff McLean.
Jeff McLean for the Bookers.
At guard, a 6-foot junior for the Hampton Crabbers, number 20, Steve Pringle.
Steve Pringle, the junior starter for the Crabbers. As I mentioned in our little pregame talk, he is going to have the unenviable task of trying to keep an eye on Michael Evans.
At guard, a 5'10" junior for the Hampton Crabbers, number 12, Jamal Gray.
Jamal Gray starts for the Hampton Crabbers.
6'3" senior for the Bookers of Washington, number 21, Michael Evans.
And Michael Evans, the last of the Booker T. Washington Bookers, and I will refer to them, Bob, for the purposes of not using too much verbiage all night. The Bookers is how I'll refer to them.
Okay.
There you see your starting lineups for the Crabbers.
And I didn't pick up the fifth starter for the Bookers, Tim. But
I did. I got it. It was Macy O'Harrison will be the fifth starter.
Okay,
It'll be O'Harrison, Doss, McLean, Evans, and Howard. So the name and number missing from your screen there is number 40, Macy O'Harrison.
there's Calvin Thomas, one of the officials from the Peninsula District. The other two are from this side, Emmanuel Upton and Dave McElhaney. So we'll have a three-man crew, as we'll see in all the tournament play from now on out, Tim. You will have three officials.
We are about set to go. Jumping center for Hampton will be Damon Bako, and he'll go up against number 35, Jabbar Doss for the Bookers. Bookers with just a single loss on the season, and the opening tap is controlled by the Hampton Crabbers. This is Jamel Gray with the ball. Hampton will be the visitors for tonight's game. The Bookers being the higher seeded team, and they will be the host team.
But I'm surprised to see the Bookers out in a 1-3-1 zone, but they're going to make Hampton shoot the ball outside. Damon tried to get inside, got the ball stripped. Bookers will play a more up-tempo than Hampton will, and they're dropped back into zone to start off with. And Walter said he'll play zone, he'll play man-to-man. He's going to try to slow him down a little bit, which is not bad strategy, Tim.
This is Macy O'Harrison with the ball, and it's stolen by Pringle. So both teams turn the ball over, and the Crabbers do it again, but again the turnover. So we've had 4 turnovers as the Bookers couldn't hold on to it either.
That was Chris Elliott, Tim, that time. I'm sorry, no, 34, Jeff McLean got the ball and drug his pivot foot as he tried to step. Bill Canady there, one of the assistant superintendents of the Hampton school system, with his back to the camera.
So neither team has gotten untracked here. We've had 2 turnovers per team and no shot taken yet. Inside the ball, it comes for Gatling, and Gatling can't hold it. And it's stolen by the Bookers, number 20, Stuart Howard.
The Bookers have a lot of quick hands out there, Tim.
The roll for Jerome Lee, who was a surprise change in our starting lineup. Jerome Lee was not listed as a starter.
Well, he's young. Yeah, that young man is the one that is the spot-up shooter, Tim.
Bako with good position, stuck it back up, it doesn't go. And the rebound comes off for Howard.
He expected to get some contact, received no contact, didn't follow through.
This is Evans. Evans can't get it to go. Ball is chased down, a 2-on-1. Gray with a nice move to the hoop, got it.
Nice job by Jamal Gray.
That shot, incidentally, by Lee a moment ago was a 3, Not a 2 as I had called it, but a 3 in fact. So the Bookers do lead 3-2 with 6:04 remaining in the first period. 4 8-minute quarters in high school basketball, and there is no shot clock. This is Lee again, picked up by Gray. Baseline, nice feed underneath. Good fake shot is up and in by number 34, Jeff McClain.
That's a set play, Tim, against that zone. Work the ball to one side and reverse it real quick under the basket. Open shot.
Turnover gives the ball back to the Bookers. They lead by 3, 5-2.
And they just blindsided Carla Brown that time. He went down, spun, and when he spun, there was a Booker there to take the ball away from him.
This is Lee, another 3.
And that's his job. That's his job. Get open, spot up, and shoot.
Booker's putting good pressure on the ball, and Gray bounced it off his leg out of bounds. Double teaming Jamel Gray, and the turnover.
If you double team at the half court, then it's like another man that is helping you. It's like being triple teamed because you can't go backwards.
The Bookers with a 6-point lead and the ball. This is Michael Evans, great All-American. He finds Lee, again, 3-point range. This one a little long. Good rebound inside, went over the back, but no call. Jeff McClain with the 2. And it was a good no call. He really didn't, I think he just out-jumped the Hampton Crabber, who had better position. This is Baycoat. Baycoat averaging more than 20 points a game, gets his first basket.
And that'll give Hampton a little bit of confidence if you can start hitting some shots. They're playing just a little excited right now. They'll settle down, run their half-court offense, and that'll help them a lot.
Haven't really made a lot of bad shots. They haven't made a lot of shot attempts.
Well, and they've been turning the ball over because they've been penetrating.
Evans for 3.
Yeah, that's 3 threes already.
13-4. Gray picked up, hand check, no call. There's heavy traffic there for Pringle. Pringle dishes off for Mario Gatling. Nice move inside by Gatling.
Well, beautiful pass by Pringle. Excellent dish. Penetrate and dish to your big man.
Nice move to the bucket by number 35, Jamar Doss. So he's in the score column. 4 of the 5 starters for the Bookers have scored, and we have our first foul of the ball game. That'll be charged to Jamar Doss. That'll be his first, and that, of course, will be the first team foul.
Hampton's got to protect the ball a little bit better. They're not protecting the ball. They're driving, and Booker's got real quick hands, and they're knocking the ball away, and that's what's happened to Hampton so far is they turn the ball over because of the penetration and not protecting the ball.
David Baycoat will trigger for the Crabbers. If he can find somebody open, has some trouble, finally gets it into Carlin Brown. Brown, who has really not been in the game much to this point. 3-point attempt from Pringle, no good. Gatling had a hand on it, but it's brought down by Michael Evans. Evans with a nice change from left to right hand and scores.
1-on-4. Normally you want the man to bring it back out and wait for your offense. He took it and went against 4 Hampton Crabbers.
The Crabbers, Walter Brower needs a timeout and takes one, with the Crabbers trailing 17-6. And I have to be honest with you, at this point, the Crabber defense seems to be non-existent. They're really not getting on the Bookers.
Well, playing the zone like they are, it leaves spots open, and young Mr. Jerome Lee has found those spots as we watch some of the replay. He found, watch this move. There is one man on the wing I didn't see, but he stops and goes. There are 3 Hampton Crabbers and another one right behind him and drives, lays it up real nice and easy. But as I was saying, Hampton's going to have to put more pressure on the Bookers. Can't let them shoot. They're going to have to play good heads-up man-to-man to deny the ball, those sorts of things.
78% from the field here, 7 out of 9 for the Bookers. So 50% for the Crabbers, 3 out of 6. They're not doing badly, but when you're hitting 7 out of 9 and 3 of 4 from the 3-point range, you can't let a team do that to you. Crabbers again almost got caught by the 5-second violation. Got a 2-on-1. Baycoat right side, left side. Gatling scored.
That's a great 2-on-1.
So the Crabbers answer with 2 and trail by 11.
Check that, by 9.
Excuse me, you're right, by 9. The math is going.
Well, I knew it was 11 a minute ago.
Yeah, you're right. Don't make it worse than it is, right? Good collapsing by the Crabbers, some defense there. Open shot and got the roll. So the Bookers, Jeff McLean has 6 points. And it's 19-8, back to the 11-point lead. This is Baycoat, and heavy traffic scores.
Another great assist by Jamal Gray. But Hampton's got to hope that the Bookers start missing some of those shots.
Open man, 3-point range. That is Doss. Jabbar Doss picked up by Baycoat. He's going to let him have the 3 at this point.
Well, that's not his shot.
McLean swinging around. This is Evans. Evans gets Pringle off his feet and scores. Michael Evans with 7 points here in the first period with 2 minutes remaining. It's 21-10. The Bookers storming out to an 11-point lead. This is Pringle guarded by Lee. Man-to-man defense by the Bookers. Saved on the baseline. Baycoat, good pass. It turns out Pringle with the easy bucket.
Nice assist.
That's a oh no, yes, way to go.
Yeah, we love that.
Back to the 9-point Bulls. The Crabbers trading baskets with Booker T right now. There you see
Booker
Michael
T
Evans.
is not going to be able to continue this torrid scoring pace that they're doing.
And they do turn it over. Crabbers with a 2-on-3. Gray bobs and weaves, puts it up, is fouled. He'll get 2 shots.
And that, Tim, that probably was not a bad move. Even though he was outmanned, you sometimes could get some things going by being a little more aggressive offensively. I
couldn't agree with you more.
I think Jamal Gray is just doing a great job of dishing the ball. That time he took it inside. Watch the replay of this. There's 3 Bookers around him, but nobody in his face. So that was really a nice move.
So the first trip to the free throw line for the Crabbers comes up with a 0 for the first attempt for Gray. Crabbers shot phenomenally well from the free throw line in the Peninsula District Tournament in the victory over the Bethel Bruins, and 1 out of 2 for Gray. We'll have a substitution now as Giuseppe Woodard will come in for Jamel Gray. So the first replacement for the Crabbers.
Well, I talked to Walter about his substitute, and he tries to rotate 8 different ball players. So I'm not surprised to see him substitute early and often.
He's never been bashful about going to his bench.
And so you can see Hampton now is playing man-to-man. They're trying to put more pressure on the players and not let them get those easy shots.
Got a man open, but he's in the lane much too long.
Oh, he was so wide open, he couldn't believe that his teammate didn't throw in the ball and got a 3-second call. Nice call by Calvin Thomas because he was camping there.
Stuart Howard had some moss growing on the left side of his feet, so you know he was in there for a while. But a good call by Calvin Thomas. Good full court pressure by the Bookers, but the Crabbers break that.
They run a 1-2-2 zone, trap is what they'll run.
Crabbers in a weave, open is Baycoat, and he hits it just inside the 3-point line. Baycoat with 6 points, and that's the margin of difference right now with 35 seconds remaining in the first period.
Hampton is playing within themselves. They're not panicking and because they went down by 11. The Bookers are going to take the last shot. Hampton should sit back a little bit, not give them a chance to post up and get the 3-pointer.
Lee inside, short, and the rebound for Gatling with 10 seconds remaining. If the Crabbers hurry, they can get another shot off. Baycoat realizes that, calls for the ball, moves in, takes his time, shoots. It's a little short, and the Bookers will have it. That'll be the buzzer to end the first period.
I think Damon knew what the situation was, but he hurried his shot a little bit and short-armed it, came up short with it. But 21-15, the Crabbers are not folding to the presence of a Michael Evans on the court. Down 6, Tim, that's not bad.
6 points for Lee on 2 threes. Evans with 7 points, a 3 and 2 twos. 6 points for McLean and 2 for Doss for the Bookers. 6 points for Baycoat, 4 for Gatling, 3 for Gray, and 2 for Pringle here at the break between the first and second period.
Well, while we got this break, let me talk about the player of the game. We will pick one of the players of the game from the Hampton School, of course, Hampton High School. And listen, we will give him a plaque as we watch some of the replay. We'll give him a plaque donated by DC Engraving, located at Taft Square in York County. Dave Buckwalter's young man out there, and a T-shirt from the Sports Place, located in Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. Dave Chubb is a young man that you'll see there. We'll talk a little bit about it later on.
Crabber cheerleaders exhorting their team on. Of course, this is sudden death tonight. You lose tonight, your season is over with.
You win tonight, you got 2 more games. You know you're going to play at least 2 more.
Crabbers came back. They hit 7 of 11 for 64% in the first, 9 of 12 for 75% for the Bookers. Hard to beat that type of percentage. Michael Evans is fouled on the shot. I believe Steve Pringle will be the guilty Crabber.
He will. I thought that Michael Evans had lost the ball. He did. Lost it on Pringle's leg, which allowed him to dribble again and get a little closer to the basket and have a chance for 2 at the foul line.
Evans gets the roll. That is the first trip to the free throw line for the Bookers. That's only the first team foul against Hampton, and Evans makes them pay with 2. In the first period, the Bookers were 9 of 12 for 75% overall. They were 3 of 4 from the three-point range. Crabbers 7 of 11 for 64, and they were 0 for 1 from the three-point range. Gatling muscles it up, can't get the ball to go, and the rebound comes off for Stuart Howard.
He was looking for some action in there, received no contact, put it up a little hard.
Inside, and the foul. The man with the ball was Howard.
Fouls on Damon Baycoat. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's who it was, Damon Baycoat. Okay. That's his first. That's only the second team foul, so while the player was not in the act of shooting, there will be just a player control situation. Inbounds pass, nice feed. You can't make it any easier than that as Stuart Howard now. All 5 of the starters for the Bookers have hit the score column, and they lead by 10. 4 straight points. Gatling answers with a bucket. Nice reverse layup by Mario Gatling.
He used the basket that time as a defender so that to ward off the defender, and got an easy roll. Nice move by Mario.
This is Evans. Evans pumps, no good, and Baycoat with the rebound.
Michael Evans is human. He missed one.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Nice pass inside for Baycoat.
But that was a beautiful back door.
Oh,
he faked coming to the ball and cut back door. Beautiful pass by, who was that? Woodard.
So 4 straight points now for the Crabbers to retaliate, and we're back to the 6-point difference. Play being called by Evans. And it's inside. Nice short jumper. Number 35 is Jamar Doss. He's got 2 baskets, and it's back to an 8-point lead.
Back to that 1-2-2 full court press. It really bothering the Crabbers. They're not turning the ball over, but they're...
Oh, Baycoat has the ball halfway down. It goes out. Fortunately for the Crabbers, it goes off a leg of Booker T.
Well, I tell you, Mario did a great job. Had the ball, lost it coming down, but it went off of one of the Bookers, so the Crabbers will have the ball inbounds underneath their own basket.
Woodard inside, turnaround jumper, Gatling, and no good. And Evans skies for the rebound.
And he's your point guard.
Don't you like to see the good ones play? This man is a parade All-American. Double teamed inside. Stewart forces it up, doesn't go. And Baycoat fouled, no call, but he got the ball.
Twice he was fouled, and no call.
A little blood on the ball, but other than that, no call. Woodard swings it over left side for Carlin Brown. Pringle. Brown will take the 3. It's a little short. That's really not his range. And Michael Evans clears the boards. This is Lee. He's got a pair of 3s. Make that 3 threes for Jerome Lee. 9 points on 3 shots. It's what you call maximizing your efforts. And now an 11-point lead again as the teams trade 4-point blasts. Pringle's pass was behind Baycoat and goes out of bounds. Nice idea, it just didn't work.
Little hard bounce pass. Good idea, you're right.
So the Bookers will bring it up with 4:55 remaining in the first half. They lead 30-19 as they very deliberately bring it across the timeline. Michael Evans picked up by Pringle. Lee is guarded by Woodard. Inside it comes, and then the ball stolen by Gatling, but Gatling committed the foul in doing so.
And Hampton went back to a man-to-man. They are changing every other time. It looks like they're coming down the court. I don't get the what triggers their move, but they play them better defensively, man-to-man. Once they go to that zone, young Mr. Lee gets open as we watch the replay.
And that's the live action there. That is Michael Evans for 3, and the three-pointers, 5 of them, are killing the Crabbers. And a foul committed right at half court. That will be charged to Stuart Howard, number 20. That'll be his second. He's the only player on either team with more than 1 foul.
And I don't know what kind of bench the Bookers have, but they have not substituted at all.
This is Giuseppe Woodard, and as you say that, the Bookers are ready to bring in a new player, and Baycoat scores.
Well, they're gonna, if they got 2 on a guy, you know, coach wants to sit him down and talk to him a little bit.
33-21, Crabbers down by 12. And we've got a
He's standing on the line, standing on the sideline.
Out of bounds. So the ball goes over to the Crabbers, and coming in the ball game will be Jeff McClain, who had come out momentarily. He'll replace Stuart Howard. So Howard leaves with 2 fouls and 2 points. Rather quiet crowd on hand so far. And we've got a foul away from the ball, an offensive foul.
They call an offensive screen, illegal screen.
Harlan Brown. That is his first. So that's the 4th team foul against Hampton. Harlan Brown, the guilty Crabber on the play. Michael Evans in no hurry at all. Lee, guarded by Woodard. Inside, they try to pass the ball, and it's stolen nicely by Carlin Brown. Mario Gatling. He goes coast to coast.
And you don't expect your big man to do that, but he is a hustler, doesn't like to lose.
Top of the key, can it? Michael Evans, he's tough.
We're watching an All-American tonight, Tim.
12 points so far, and we've only played, well, not even quite half, a little more than half of the second period. And Evans showing you he doesn't sit back and just score points.
Well, he's an all-around player. He's a good defensive player. He's a good assist man, but he's also a great scorer. He's got great individual moves. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Turnover as Baycoat can't handle it.
That was a little hard pass by Woodard that time inside to Damon.
Yeah, Gary Moore had a good point. He said he kind of Michael Evans reminds him a little of Iverson.
Oh, no, Iverson's, he's better. When he gets to be a senior, he's going to be better, Tim.
Oh, he is, and I think what I would do is I'd say to Gary, he reminds me of Allen Iverson when Iverson starts to play completely under control.
Yes.
Because this man is under control. This is Evans, double teamed in the corner, gets it underneath, forced shot doesn't go, and Baycoat with another rebound.
Damon is having people climb on his back, and nobody is. There's being no fouls called, but there was a definite foul on that rebound that time. He came up with the ball, but they're letting him climb on the back on the.
Ball last touched by the Crabbers on the missed shot by Evans. Lob pass inside, right to Carlin Brown. Good lead pass for Mario Gatling. Mario will lay it up. It doesn't go, but a follow by Baycoat. Damon Baycoat with the high percentage follow shot. Calvin Thomas is telling the offensive team do not interfere with the ball after it is through the hoop.
And that's a warning. Next time is going to be a foul.
We'll watch the replay here. You'll see Mario Gatling have this ball go halfway down. Look at that. room, and then follow shot by Baycoat with the big jam, bringing the crowd
That's
to
why,
its
as a coach, you say, if you're not going to slam dunk it, use the board.
35-25, a 10-point difference.
And the Bookers are going to pull it out, and I don't quite understand, because sometimes that will hurt you because it slows you down.
Well, you know, this might be very much to the Crabbers' advantage. Time will tell. Crabbers do come out, however, to put pressure on the ball. Of course, as you very alertly corrected me in the last time we had a game on Channel 5, you don't have to come out anymore and pressure the ball if you're the team that's behind.
That's correct.
Change that rule. It used to be that you had to put pressure on the ball, but they don't. No shot clock. The Bookers can literally hold for the last shot. 1:20 remains in the first half. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz coming to you from Churchland High School. You're watching the Hampton Crabbers and the Booker T. Washington Bookers here from the brand new Churchland High School gymnasium. And what a facility. Boy, would the peninsula ever flourish with this type of facility.
Isn't that the truth?
If you city fathers from Hampton or Newport News are watching, take note.
Take note. I don't agree with the strategy of the Bookers. I really don't.
There you see Barry Hamler, the head coach of the Bookers. Inside of 40 seconds to go. Bookers with the 10-point lead, and they are holding the ball in the four corners. This is Evans, picked up by Baycoat. 25 seconds remaining. Crabbers back off and say, all right, we'll wait for you to come to us. Walter Brower doing his own bit of coaching from the sidelines, though you see him up in the left-hand corner of your screen. Walter giving hand instructions to his Crabbers. Down inside of 10 seconds to go now. They put pressure. Evans has got the ball. A man you want. Set a screen for him. Doesn't go. Brown is fouled on the rebound with 2 seconds remaining.
But there's no foul. It's only the fourth foul, so.
Will not be a shot, so the Crabbers will have to throw the ball the length of the court in an effort to get off a last-second shot here in the first half. Crabbers.
I don't agree with that strategy at all. That could backfire on you so quick.
Crabbers will have 2 seconds. Baycoat will dribble across center court, put it up just to the left of the rim. It goes off the side with no chance of going. And at halftime, the Bookers have expanded the lead from 6 at the first quarter to a 10-point lead at halftime, 35-25. We'll return to Churchland High School after a brief timeout. And we see the Booker T. Washington Bookers as they are on the floor to warm up for the second half. Real quickly, the statistics from the first half. For the Bookers, they were paced by Michael Evans. Big surprise there. He had 3 twos, 2 threes, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Total of 14 points. Jerome Lee with 3 threes. He really hurt the Crabbers with 9 points. Hit all 3 out of 4 of his attempts.
Well, that was something that Coach Brower knew. He was a spot shooter.
3 out of 5 he hit.
You hope they're not on.
And 3 out of 4 from the three-point range. Wow. There you see one of the younger guys. He doesn't care what the statistics say.
Yeah, just give me that bottle.
6 points for Jeff McClain on 3 baskets. 4 points for Jabbar Doss on 2 baskets, and 2 points for Stuart Howard. Howard and Doss each with 2 personals in the first half. For the Crabbers, they were paced by Damon Baycoat, who had 12 points. Damon from the floor, 6 out of 10, 60%. And 8 points for Mario Gatling, number 44. And Gatling was 4 out of 8, 50%. So the Crabbers shot well as a team. 3 points for Jamel Gray and 2 points for Steve Pringle to round out the scoring. Team-wise, the Crabbers shot 52% from the floor, and they were 1 of 2 from the free throw line, while the Bookers red hot at 64% from the field, 63% from the 3-point range, and perfect from the free throw line. And again, we thank Gary Moore for those incredibly quick and accurate statistics, helping us out here tonight at the Churchland High School. And an offensive foul on Carlin Brown.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Well, it was called nonetheless, and that turns the ball over. The Crabbers do not want to turn the ball over. They can't trade baskets here with the Bookers. They've got to, A, create some turnovers, and B, they've got to get some points on the board. Bookers with a 35-25 lead as the second half is just underway. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz coming to you from Churchland High School. Brand new facility here, seats about 4,300, and it is a gorgeous facility. And by the way, before I forget, and I would really be upset if I didn't thank the fine folks here at Churchland. They have been absolutely as cooperative as they can be. We do appreciate it. Bill Strickland.
Bill Strickland here at Churchland has really helped us out. Nice block.
Baycode with the block on Lee. That'll slow down that percentage of shooting, and Pringle can't get the basket to go. Stuart Howard with the rebound.
He may have got a little bit of contact. Nothing called. No blood, no foul. No harm, no foul. Whoa!
Michael Evans with a acrobatic shot for two.
Slow-mo.
We can't get any slow-mo shots if Slow-Mo Joe is at a concession stand, can we? Crabbers feeling the full court pressure. They finally get it across the timeline. Nice dish for Gatling, and Gatling is fouled by Stuart Howard. Gatling
got to be. He's got to be. I mean, he's been on the back all night. First time they've called one.
And a little bit of a display of emotion from either side, something we didn't see from either side, to be honest with you, in the first half.
Well, now it's crunch time.
That's what I mean. I'm not saying that there isn't any intensity, but we've seen the first obvious display of intensity. Gatling will step to the free throw line. He has 8 points. This is his first trip to the free throw line, and it is a miss. The Crabbers only had 2 attempts in the first half, as did the Bookers. And a substitution now for the Bookers. Shelton Evans will come in the ball game, and he'll replace Stuart Howard, who did pick up the personal foul.
Well, and that wasn't a bad move on the coach. Set him down, cool him off a little bit. Your tempers flare. You can't play well if you're playing with emotions, especially that kind of emotion.
Gatling 1 of 2, and the lead is 9. Make that 11. See, I'm having a hard time with that 9-11 thing tonight.
You're blowing my mind. I'm not the best thing in the world without a calculator, and I think I know what's going on.
I'm just testing you, Bob.
Well, that should have been a double dribble.
Well, apparently ruled Crabber got a hand on the ball. Evans got the dribble back, penetrates, too strong, and Carlin Brown with the rebound. Brown yet to score tonight, and he had 18 points last game out. He'll fire this one off the heel of rim, got his own rebound, and they'll set it back up. Carlin suffering a little lack of confidence right now. Gray dishes to Pringle inside for Gatling, and Gatling was moving towards the basket, the ball thrown a little behind him, and he couldn't hold on.
The Crabbers are playing just a little out of sync right now. They're not smooth in their half-court offense.
37-26 with 5:55 remaining in the third. Plenty of time for the Crabbers to come back, of course. But you don't want to give the Bookers too long. They've already shown that they will go to a stall, and the ball is tipped out of bounds by the Crabbers. Evans will inbounds for the Bookers. He finds Lee in the corner to Evans in the lane, and Evans, nice dish, good block from behind, but the stick back is good.
Beautiful block, but it still comes away. Count 2 for the Bookers.
That was McLean who got the stick back, and the ball knocked away, a 1-on-2. Evans pulls up, got away from the defense, and cans it. So the Bookers with a run here lead by 15, 41-26. Baycoat all the way to the hoop, and he gets fouled. Foul is on Jerome Lee.
Crabbers have got to make those shots. They are down 15 points. They've got to make those and get the 3-point chance.
I think the Crabbers really have to get something going and do so pretty quickly, because they're They're going to be running out of time here, and they just can't afford to get any further behind against this very fine shooting Booker's team. I mean, they just...
And the way they're shooting from the foul line, Tim, shows right now they're playing with a little bit of lack of confidence.
Baycoat gets the second, so the Crabbers, every trip to the line.
Nobody expected them to get here this far, including the coach. So, you know, this is a team that's played very well through the whole season and in the tournament.
And, of course, they don't want it to stop here. They didn't play very well all year long just to get to this point and not win. So I'm sure the Crabbers will turn it up a notch, but they don't want to get any further behind. This is Doss. His shot is a little short. Got his own rebound, and he stuck it back up. Won't go. Tipped by Doss, and then Doss should be called for the foul.
He finally got called for his third foul. He was over the back twice and then pushed the young man out of bounds.
We got a chance to watch the replay as we see Woodard coming in the ball.
There was one foul.
There you go.
That's the third foul.
He had 3 fouls on the one play. So coming in now for the Bookers will be Darren Sutton, and he'll set Jamar Doss down with 3. Barry Hamler shouting out instructions to his defense. So far they've played a good job of defense on the Crabbers. Taben Garrett in the lineup now for Hampton. Baycoat is short with his shot, and Michael Evans with the board. Evans pushes it up quickly, right side lead, no! And it's still loose, finally controlled by Carlin Brown of Hampton. Brown double team, stolen by Lee. 2-on-1. Lee doesn't get the basket, but he draws the foul. Good play by Woodard. He stuck with Lee and made him commit. I see Walter Brower wants a timeout, I believe.
Yeah, Carlin has to give the ball up. Going down the side, you're being double teamed. You got to turn the ball over to one of y'all. You got somebody open. You got to give the ball up. We do have the timeout to talk about. While we have the timeout, let me talk about the player of the game. We're going to recognize one of the Hampton Crabbers tonight as the player of the game. We will give him a plaque donated by DC Engraving, located in Tab Square in York County. Dave Buckwalter's young man out there, and this is a very fine plaque. It's a sample metal photo. We're also going to give a t-shirt with player of the game on it, donated by the Sports Place located in Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. Dave Chubb is young man there. As you can see, a good shot of head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers and his son sitting there alongside of him. So we want to take time to tell these young men that we really appreciate their efforts. Dave Buckwalter, DC Engraving, Dave Chubb of the Sports Place.
In the second half, both teams have cooled considerably shooting-wise. Crabbers are 0 for 3. They have yet to hit a bucket, and we played almost 4 minutes of the second half. The Bookers not much better, 3 out of 11. For the game, the Bookers 51.5%. The Crabbers have dropped down to 46%. So the shooting percentage is dropping like a rock. Lee drops that one in.
Well, you got statistics right at your fingertip, don't you?
At Gary Moore's fingertips.
Somebody's fingertips.
Yep, Gary does a nice job of giving me these statistics. Makes me sound good. So the Bookers can both free throws, 43-27, a 16-point bulge. Woodard and Pringle playing catch. Now the double team on Woodard. Baycoat, Carlin Brown, who is yet to score, gives to Baycoat. Baycoat will drive and shoot, no good, and no Crabbers in position for the rebound.
Hampton is not, their spacing is not, they're too close together. You got to get better spacing.
Evans off to the left and a whistle underneath.
Number 22 for the Bookers, I'm sorry, 32. That's Shelton Evans, picks up the foul.
Woodard will come out of the ball game now. Jamel Gray will replace him. So the Crabbers have on the floor Brown, Pringle, Gray, Baycoat, and Gatling. The starting 5 for the Crabbers. Carlin Brown. to Gray. This is Gatling. Gatling hits it. Nothing but net.
He shoots the ball inside and out. The big man guarding him is not going to come out and get him. Take that 15-footer. Good shot by Mario.
Crabbers within 14. And a foul. Foul is on Steve Pringle. 3:11 remaining in the third quarter. That was Pringle's second personal foul.
Sheldon Howard comes back into the Booker lineup.
This is Evans. Left-handed hook doesn't go. A nice driving left-handed hook by Evans, but it just rolled off the rim. Gray triple team, got to find a man open. This is Pringle in the corner, inside, turnaround jumper, Gatling, same spot, same results.
And that's what I say, they're giving him that shot, he needs to take it.
Lead is 12, so the Crabbers keep nipping away at that lead. It had been 16, now it's 12 with 4 straight. 2:38 remaining in the third period. Crabbers collapse on defense. Jerome Lee, who's had 3 threes, misses this one. Putback is no good, and then a foul could have been called on Stuart Howard. I was waiting for the whistle, didn't get it. But the Crabbers throw it away.
And that's what they've been doing tonight more than I've ever seen the Crabbers. Throwing the ball away without pressure. Now, when they got pressure, they control the ball pretty well. But when they're trying to get the ball inside, they just too much adrenaline or something, Tim.
One of those times when you just couldn't afford to do that. Had a chance to cut that lead down to 10, but instead turned it over. 2:05 remaining in the third. This is Howard, nothing but net. Stuart Howard doubles his point output with the basket, and it's back to 14. Carlin Brown, and Brown is going to get a break there. He might have stuck his elbow out and been called for the charge.
Number 32 gets the foul, Shelton Evans.
Evans with his second personal. That'll be the 5th against the Bookers. 7 team fouls in high school ball, and you get the bonus. Baycoat has no one to throw the ball into. Finally is able to get it to Pringle. Pringle traveled. So the Crabbers again bitten by the turnover bug. 1:50 remains in the third period. 45-31 again. Michael Evans not in any hurry to get the ball up court.
I'd love to see Michael Evans and young Mr. Iverson go head to head.
Wouldn't that be fun to watch? Just referring to Allen Iverson, the sophomore sensation, as Evans cans the two. Iverson from Bethel High School has 2 more years of eligibility. In heavy traffic, not a well-advised play by Carlin Brown, and take it to the other end, and a block, and no foul. 47-31, the Bookers by 16.
The Crabbers had it down to 11 and had the ball.
Oh, nice move by Gatling. Heavy traffic, dish it off Pringle, and that should be goaltending. Ball was trapped on the backboard, but no goaltending call at this time.
No, it's got to come off the backboard. If he can trap it on the ball, on the board, no goaltending. If it had hit the board and bounced off and he got it, then you got goaltending.
So 2 shots coming for Pringle. Each of the Crabbers that have gone to the free throw line have come away with just 1 of 2. Down by 16 with 1:09. There you see a good look at young Steve Pringle. And Pringle rattles it in and out and out.
Watch that replay on that goaltending call you thought would be. As you see, once the ball was still on its upward flight,
that was
and
good,
made the
good no call.
That was a good no call.
So Pringle continues the trend for the Crabbers, missing 1, hitting 1. And quickly down the other end, Darren Sutton is in the scorebook with a 2, and it's 17.
Hampton sound asleep.
Baycoat has it slapped away. Jerome Lee, nice job by Lee, and then it's kicked out of bounds. It belongs to the Bookers.
A little bit of slapping when Damon Bako went through the lane that time, and nothing was called.
17-point lead. We're inside of 45 seconds to go. Bookers get it across the timeline and then throw it away. So Lee, thinking Evans was going across the court, threw it well behind him. Evans had broken towards the basket, and there was no one home. Travers, Carlin Brown has yet to get on track. Brown will fire it up and hit. So if Carlin Brown can warm up in the fourth period, the Crabbers might be able to make a run of this. But as it looks like with 23 seconds to go, they're down by 15. They will get a break in the sense that they will have the bonus from the free throw line for the rest of this game. In the lineup for the first time, Macy O'Harrison, number 40, comes in for the Bookers. He'll replace number 32, Shelton Evans. Bookers bring it inbounds with 12 seconds remaining and a 15-point lead. Evans picked up by Bako. Cross court Lee from way outside, hit it at the buzzer.
Oh, whoa. 18-point lead, that hurts.
Jerome Lee with a NBA three-pointer at the buzzer.
He's the shooter. He's the shooter.
So the Bookers expand on that halftime lead. Crabbers are only able to put 9 points on the board, while the Bookers with 17 in the third period. Get a chance to watch that last second action. You're going to see the ball come all the way. There's Lee at the bottom of your screen. Evans will throw it all the way across the court. Lee, you see him, he's a good 5 feet behind the three-point line. You couldn't see the clock, but believe me, it was just as he released the ball, the buzzer went off. A good call, and a three-point bucket really hurts the Crabbers. An 18-point lead after 3. So far, it's been all Booker T. They have led from the early going, raced out to a 8-2 lead. Early in the game, Jerome Lee hit a couple of threes. He started the ball game with a 3. They have 6 three-pointers in the game, and the Crabbers have yet to hit a 3. So the final 8 minutes are underway. And Jerome Lee, who just got that bucket, throws it all the way across court inside. 14-footer rattles in and out, and Mario Gatling rips it off the board. Jamel Gray with a nice move. Baycoat with the rebound, sticks it back in.
Hampton can't come down and take a lot of time off the clock to shoot. They've got to score and score fairly quick if they can.
Oh, the Crabbers may have gotten a break. Looked like the ball went right through Carlin Brown's hands.
I think it grazed him on the head, but
yeah.
The official said no. Crabbers have another chance to cut into this lead.
52-36, the Bookers putting the pressure on. Baycoat penetrates, puts up the right-hander, no good. Kind of off balance, and the rebound comes off for Jeff McClain, number 34 of Booker T. Washington. This is Javar Doss with 3 personals. Lee almost dragged the foot, but he didn't. Ball knocked out of bounds by Baycoat. Middle of your screen is Barry Hamler, the head coach of Booker T, with the tan-colored, camel-colored jacket on.
Hampton is in a trapping zone.
And a basket by McClain, and he gets the foul.
Foul on Mario Gatling.
Gatling his second. And a timeout has been called. Here's a replay of some of the action. See the penetration, nice feed underneath, the bucket and the foul. And 6:41 remains. Again, we do want to thank the fine folks here at Churchland High School, and in particular Bill Strickland, for all of the assistance and very gracious help that we have received from these fine people to set up for this game. We've got our very own little position here at the center of the court, our own table, our own dancing girls, the whole bit.
And our own stats man.
Stats man Gary, more numbers.
You see some of the crowd. The Kickintan Warriors came in, I guess it's been about an hour and a half ago. Saw Revis Conrad and Richard Hall. And of course, going to be a great crowd, Tim. I'm looking around. There's just a few empty seats, not many.
That's
not
right.
many at all.
We'll have both this game and the Kickintan-Maury game for you here on Channel 5. So check the listings for the exact time for the Kickintan game right here on Channel 5. Kickintan and Maury. As McLean completes a three-point play and gives his team a 19-point lead with 6:35 remaining. Gray has it stolen. Michael Evans with a nice move to the hoop and score the two.
That gives them the 19-point lead.
No, that gives them a 21-point lead.
Look at you.
See
Look
that?
what you've done to me.
I think I planted a virus. Baseline jumper by Carlin Brown is good. Brown with just his second basket of the game. Grabbers needed more output from Carlin Brown and haven't gotten it. And we've got a tie-up, no, a foul on Pringle. That's his third.
I might have been a 5-second call and not a foul. I think Alvin Thomas was a little late in the foul. Not that there wasn't a foul, but there was a 5-second call before the foul occurred. Closely guarded for 5 seconds. It's a jump ball, and he was definitely 5 seconds.
Well, that's our clock, not his.
Good point. Good point.
Evans with a screen, banks it in and draws the foul from Gatling. So Mario Gatling makes sure that Evans didn't get the easy bucket. Evans looks around and smiles.
Who is that freight train?
Really? What truck did I just run into? Woodard comes in, replacing Gray. As you see, Jamel Gray coming off the court. Gray has 3 points in the game, all coming in the first half. Evans 2 for 2, make that 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Mr. Evans has 22 points, 6 rebounds rather, hitting 9 of 16 from the regular shooting range and 2 of 5 from the three-point range. Thank you, Gary.
And they're staying in that trap because it's bothered Hampton all night. They can't get into their offense.
Stolen back by Carlin Brown. Brown with a 4-on-2 connects. 6 points for Brown all here in the second half. But it very likely is a little bit too much, too late.
5 seconds call against the Bookers.
Calvin must have heard you when he came by here a few minutes ago.
Well, I did say that just a little louder than I normally. That was a good call.
Inside, Brown, hook, put it in. 8 points for Brown, and the Crabbers keep whittling away. It's down to a 17-point difference. But the time now is an element, 5:20, and the clock is moving, and there's a foul on Damon Baycoat. That'll be just his second. And that will put the Bookers into a bonus situation.
That's the first time this game, with 5:16 left to go, that either team has been in the bonus. Only 7 fouls in the first half.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of fouls, and there's only a 7 on one team and 6 here on the Bookers, so only 13 fouls of the non-offensive foul variety is what I'm trying to say. Doss hits the free throw. The Bookers are perfect from the free throw line. They are 2, 4, 6, 8 of 8.
You've got to be good at all facets of the game. Offense, defense, inbound plays, rebounding, foul shooting, and the Bookers seem to have it pretty well covered.
22-1 on the season. I'm not sure of the team that beat them. I didn't get team statistics for the Bookers, but it must have been a heck of a club. Some good competition over on the south side this year. A couple of the heavy favorites didn't get to this final edition, if you will. Gatling's shot is a little short.
Well, that's a three-point shot. Mario's got a good shot. 15 feet in, not the three-point range.
All alone underneath, and Gatling makes sure there's no easy two. Gatling with his 4th personal foul. You know, Gatling's one of those players, if he's on your team, you'll love him. If he's on the other team, you can't stand him. Because he truly is a physical player. Not a dirty player, but a physical player.
Well, we got to start thinking about the player of the game for the Crabbers.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Gatling is a certain prime candidate for that, either himself or Damon Baycoat.
Both of those young men are deserving, as is Jamal Gray, Stevie Pringle, have all done a great job.
So the Bookers missed the free throw, finally show their human side, but then get the loose ball and stick it in. Then the Crabbers knock it out of bounds, and 4:26 remains.
They had 3 rebounds and 3 tries at that basket, came away empty.
Crabbers' pressing defense has not relented at all. The Bookers have just done a fine job of finding the open man just like that. Just like that.
Double team, splits the double team and finds a man underneath the basket wide open.
Pringle for 3, hit it.
And he was fouled, so if you're a Crabber, you say good no call because you got 3 off of it.
66-45. Michael Evans from 14. He got the roll.
Split a double team again.
Pringle, no good. Mario Gatling got the rebound, put it on the floor, stick it back up, no good. Baycoat with the work inside. David Baycoat, who had 12 points at halftime, has added 5 here in the second half. He's got 17. And he is just a junior, folks. I want to remind you the Crabbers will have him back next year. And heavy contact, no foul. Basket by Jamar Doss. Baycoat put it up, in and out, and he draws the foul.
He got a little help from the from the hand at that little push. Good call by Calvin.
That's McLean's first personal foul. That is the 7th team foul, so the Crabbers will have at least a 1-and-1.
I'm kind of going with, I don't know.
Here's your replay.
I think Pringle has probably played the most steady game, him and Mario Gatling. It's hard to pick one, Tim.
Baycoat with 2 of 3 from the free throw line now. He's got 18 points.
I think I'll go with Steve Pringle. I'll let you think on that. You got 3 minutes and 6 seconds.
Baycoat connects on both free throws. 3 minutes remaining in the season for one of these teams, and it looks very much like right now that'll be the Crabbers. They trail by 21. Evans has killed him, and he doesn't stop.
One-on-one. One man's not going to stop him out here tonight. Get back!
Has he committed, or is he even a senior? Inside, Gray, excuse me, not Gray, but in fact that is Scott Walker who's in the ball game for the Crabbers. He replaced Mario Gatling a moment ago.
And I think that's a nice move on Coach Walter Brower. Young Mr. Walker is the only 3 seniors on this team. Tim, their JV team went undefeated with 8th and 9th graders. He had 2 freshmen on his varsity. You know, he's got some good young men coming up on his program. He brought Scott Walker in to let him play. He's a senior. The last game he's going to play. I think that's a Nice move by Coach Walter Brower.
Walker misses the first of 2. In the game as well as Corey Ellis, as Walker connects on the second. Corey Ellis, number 24, in for Hampton. Walker will come out. Gatling is back in. Well, you know, the point you don't get to be aware of all the time is all the hours and hours and hours of practice these guys who are on the bench and don't get to play much. These guys work just as hard as the guys who get to start for the most part.
And that's
They
true.
have a lot of dedication, and they really put out tremendous effort. It's a lot of time in their lives that has been given up for the love of the sport. And I think sometimes you need to recognize the guys on the bench.
You do that, Tim, and it wouldn't hurt us to just go down the list. Giuseppe Woodard is just a sophomore. Chris Copeland is a junior. Tony Chambliss is a junior. Corey Ellis is a sophomore. Taven Garrett is a freshman. Jonathan Baker is a freshman. Tony Freeman's a freshman. John Galbraith is a freshman. And, of course, Scott Walker just coming. Those are young men sitting on a pine, but are a very integral part of any team. Mr. Pringles had a tough job tonight. He's had to try to contain Mr. Evans.
I mean, on a different level, that's like having to guard Michael Jordan. And Corey Ellis stops the easy basket by Lee. There will not be any easy baskets. So Ellis gets the first personal.
Good shot of Mr. Kennedy, assistant superintendent in the Hampton City Schools.
That is he on the left, right?
Yes, right in the center of your screen.
74-50, the Bookers will advance to play the winner of our second game, and that'll be a battle between Kecoughtan and Maury, and we'll have that for you right here on Channel 5.
Did Mr. Lee miss a shot?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. And what's the call? They're going to say a charge on Baker.
If the charge, it looked like, I don't know, it's a close call. Did the charge come before or after he let go of the ball? The official rule, he still had the ball when he made contact. Therefore, no basket.
Michael Evans comes out of the ball game to a rousing applause, as well they should. Evans leaves the game with 30 points. And all he did was hit 61% of his overall shots and 2 out of 5 from his threes, 10 assists. And how many rebounds did he have, Coach? 6? Just missed a triple-double. 6 rebounds, 10 assists, and 30 points. Michael Evans, a Parade Magazine All-American. And I didn't see anything tonight that would dissuade me from that.
Not me.
He's so smooth. He doesn't do it real flashy. He doesn't make a lot of noise about it. He just gets it done. Other players coming out now. Jamar Doss will come out with 8 points unofficially.
Young Mr. Jonathan Baker, 34, checks into the lineup.
Tony Chambliss, number 22, also in for the Crabbers. So Walter Brower has unloaded the bench. Jonathan Baker, the son of Arnie Baker, the brother of
Gannon Baker,
who
was at Duquesne.
Looks like a carbon copy of his brother.
He does that, doesn't he?
Just a little smaller, but he'll put a little weight on, a little height. Has the same motions and everything. I guess that's to be expected, huh?
Same haircut.
Same haircut.
Same dad, same mom.
Chiseled right out of the old man's mold.
Yes. And that's saying it nicely, too.
Oh, yeah. See, I went to school with Arnold Baker. He doesn't remember me because I was, just one of the guys, but he was a basketball star on the Crabbers team way back in the old days. Triassic period, as my son would call it. Missed free throw attempt by John Galbraith, a freshman. So Walter Brower giving some of the underclassmen and the Pine Riders, as we'll call them, a little chance to play. Down to a minute 20. This is Macy O'Harrison with the ball. Shelton Evans will pull up and shoot, doesn't get it. And then a foul underneath. Rashawn White will go to the free throw line. So the Bookers will advance. I got to go with this with Mr. Gatling here. So we're going to have to ask Scotty beam me up Bowers to break the tie here tonight. I'm picking Gatling, and Bob has gone with Pringle. So we'll let Scotty have a minute and 11 to come up with his choice.
If he comes up with Baker, we got to go with it, right?
Yeah, then we got to go with it. Fans here at Booker T having a good time, I say, here at Churchland. The Booker T fans, one of their fans losing his Levi's as he rode by. Fortunately, he remembered his BVDs. No plugs intended here. This is non-commercial television. There you see Walter Brower and the coaches and the bench. David Blizzard in your picture. And again, we want to give credit to another segment of the basketball team that doesn't get all the glory. And that's the assistant coaches.
I tell you, David Blizzard does a great job. Undefeated JV team.
He does that every year.
I tell you, he just does a great job of building the program for Walter Brower. There's a good shot of David sitting on the right next to the table. But to win undefeated with 8th and 9th graders really is quite an accomplishment, because most of the teams will have sophomores.
And
we must have a technical or something on the
might have been an illegal substitution or something from the Crabbers. I'm not sure. I think Baker may not have checked in. I saw him go over and talk to the official score, so I'm going to make that wild guess, and truly it is just that.
Well, now we
got offsetting technical.
Well, young Mr. Baker's got a chance to get into the scoring column.
See, those of you who know Gannon Baker and watched him here on Channel 5, don't you think you're looking in a mirror? Jonathan Baker gets his name in the book.
I can remember reading in the paper when he won a lot of foul shooting contests. And you can see he's got an awful sweet touch to that ball.
Well, I remember reading that same story about the Baker family and the hours and hours and hours of shooting out in the backyard. And those fans that are watching that think basketball is something you just naturally acquire. Yeah, you would naturally acquire it about 6 hours a day. Foul before the shot, I do believe. But you as a former basketball coach know all of the efforts that go into this. I'm just now seeing it with my son playing baseball and all the hours that they put in.
It's not, you just don't pick up a ball and become good. You put in, it's just like anything else you do, any sport, any studies, whatever it is you're going to pursue, you've got to put a little time in it to be good at it.
Sometimes you got to put a lot of time in. Time running down now, inside of a minute to go. 75-52. Go for the three and hit it. Number 12, Samel Frazier with a three. So that is the 6th three-pointer for the Bookers tonight. Jonathan Baker, he'll try for three, a little short. Again, we want to take this opportunity to thank, as the timeout is called by the Bookers. Thank you.
Well, they want to get the 4 young men sitting there ready to come in, and I think that's a neat, nice move. We
do want to take another opportunity to thank Bill Strickland and the fine folks here with the Eastern Regional Tournament for all of their assistance in our setting up and bringing this game to you here on Channel 5. I want to thank our crew for their usual all-star performance. If they had eliminations and Eastern Regionals for television crews, we'd always have a winning crew.
And that's the truth.
But,
our crew does an excellent job, game in, game out. This is not the only thing that they do, but this is one of the things that they do well.
Scotty Bowers, our director. Our camera people, Jerome Young. Ron ESPN Baton, Melvin Hooker.
Melvin CBS Hooker.
Melvin CBS Hooker, excuse me.
Beverly Penn in the truck.
I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Slow-Mo Joe, that's who it was.
How can you forget Slow-Mo Joe?
I can't forget him, he won't let me. And of course, Dr. Sam Stills, our producer, and the entire crew, we thank you, gentlemen and lady, for your always professional job. A little more than half a minute remaining in the Hampton High School season, but again, the second game of our coverage, the Kickintan Warriors will keep the Peninsula hopes alive with their battle, and they'll go against the Maury Commodores in the second game that'll follow here as we'll bring it to you. Check the listings on Channel 5 for the exact time for that game. The Bookers, with this win, will advance to the final game Saturday night. Well, really, I'm sorry if I've been redundant, but this facility here at Churchland High School, when you come up upon it, driving up to it, you think you've landed in some exotic college campus or something. I mean, just the whole place is just incredible. I don't know who the architects are, but I hope the city of Hampton and Newport News, when they get ready to consider a new school, will look at it. Yeah, our director says, yeah, they decided to build a really nice gym, and then they built the school onto it. But it truly is a beautiful facility. It's state of the art, I guess is the phrase to come. Well, another technical foul. Don't really have any explanation for these technicals. All they are doing is prolonging the inevitable.
Well, it gives young Mr. Baker a chance to get a couple more points.
Yeah. And a timeout called by the Bookers just as he stepped to the free throw line. So with 34 seconds remaining. If you joined us late, well, you missed a pretty good display of shooting by the Bookers of Booker T. Washington. If I can get Gary to give me a current shooting stats screen for the game, and that took about 30 milliseconds for him to do that. The Bookers 56% for the game. They hit 64% in the first half and hit better than 63% for the three-point range. Second half, they cooled off to almost humanistic statistics with 50% from the floor. Crabbers overall didn't shoot badly, 46.7 for the game, but they were just out three-pointed by the Bookers. And started calling him Gannon. I knew I might do that. Jonathan Baker hits his third consecutive free throw. And young Jonathan Baker shows that practice pays. He hits all four.
Well, they could have used him on the line all night long to shoot foul shots. Young man is
he's a designated flower shooter.
Flower shooter.
Flowers. Missed shot, back come the Bookers. Put it up, no good. Baker with the rebound. Right side feed, put it up, blocked. Out of bounds. Shot attempted by the Crabbers, and I have to apologize. I don't have a number 14 on my roster. You do, Chris Copeland. Not sure how I missed it. Galbraith won't go. Follow shot is good by Galbraith. And the buzzer sounds with the final score. The Bookers of Booker T. Washington 78 and the Crabbers 56. Real quickly running down the scoring for you as you see both teams congratulating each other, and take nothing away from Booker T. Washington. They played this game from beginning to end with great precision. The individual scoring for the Crabbers, Baycode had 12 at halftime. He added 7 more for a total of 19 for the ball game. Mario Gatling had 8, 10, 12, 13 points for the game. We got to get Scotty Bowers, our director, to give us the tiebreaker now. I've picked Gatling for our Hampton player of the game, and you've picked Steve Pringle. Pringle ended the game with 6 points, and Scotty, knowing where his bread is buttered, Bowers will go with Gatling. All right, I can appreciate that. So Mario Gatling will be our Hampton player star of the game. Carlin Brown, 8 points. All of those came in the second half, and they sure could have used some of his scoring in the first half. 4 points for Jonathan Baker, 3 points for Jamel Gray, 6 points for Steve Pringle. For the Bookers, 4 threes for Jerome Lee, and he ended up with 14 points unofficially for the game. 3 points for Samel Frazier, 6 points for Stuart Howard. Michael Evans, if you'll say something briefly while I'm totaling up his points, Bob.
I'll tell you, the game was tempo-wise was all in the Bookers' favor. They controlled the tempo with the press. Hampton never ran their offense with any consistency. They hurried the passes. They made some turnovers that were not caused by anything but mistimed passes and that sort of thing. But Walter Brower's got to be real happy. He loses 3 ball players. He loses Carlin Brown, he loses Mario Gatling, and he loses Scott Walker. Everybody else coming up, he's at an undefeated JV team. He's got to be real happy for the prospects next year.
Absolutely. And I've had a chance to do my totaling. 30 points unofficially for Michael Evans, 13 for Jeff McLean, 8 points for Jabbar Doss, 6 points for Stuart Howard, and 14, as I said, for Jerome Lee. So the Bookers of Booker T. Washington will advance and play the winners of the Maury-Kecoughtan game, which will be shown here as well here on Channel 5. The final score again, the Booker T. Washington Bookers 78, the Hampton Crabbers 56. The Bookers advance to the finals. The final score, and this is Tim Cole for Bob Hintz. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.